The Miner's Wife by Diane Allen. Chapter 1. Swaledale, the Yorkshire Dales, 1877. Meg Oversby sat enjoying the warm sunshine of the June day. She leaned back and turned her face up to the sun, and smiled as she watched a skylark dip and dart in the blue sky as it sang its tune. Her father had arranged for her to get a lift into Swaledale, to the little village of Gunnerside with the local butcher, although he would have had something to say about it, had he known how the man had enjoyed glancing at Meg's ankles as he helped her up to sit next to him. But she had been thankful for the lift, because her heavy basket of butter was no longer weighing on her arm, as his 2 horses struggled to climb the steep hillside out of the village of Hawes and the small hamlet of Simonston. Carefully they picked their way along the track, which snaked and turned following the fell contours, with a horrendous drop to their deaths if the animals put a foot wrong. Once in the village, Meg had made her delivery of butter to the small shop that the local lead miners' wives used, run by her ailing surrogate aunt and uncle, before making her way back home, out of the long green valley. Now she was enjoying a little freedom, as she sat at the edge of the limestone chasm known as the Butter Tubs. It was deep enough for the devil himself to live in, and many a stray sheep had fallen to its death down the hole. But it was a beautiful part of the world, the winding pass between Great Shunner Fell, opening up to beautiful remote Swaledale at one end and the village of Hawes and Wensleydale at the other. The chasm had reportedly been given its name by local women who, like herself, delivered butter and had found it a cool place to rest and chill their produce in the deep cavern before carrying on their way. Meg could well believe this, and she enjoyed the warmth of the day, picking some of the sweet-smelling wild thyme that grew around her and placing it behind her ear before she stood up. She gave a backwards glance at the dale, which was also home to 2 lads that had taken her eye, brothers who worked at the outgang lead mines. She hoped for a sighting of them, but knew they'd be working at the mines high in the fells above Gunnerside. Not to worry, she thought to herself. They would always be the following week, when her next delivery was ready to be hawked to the small village shop. Next week, she would as usual travel the 10 miles with her father in the horse and trap, and while he had a jar in the King's Head to quench his thirst and catch up with the news of the Dale, she would quickly make her way up the steep fellside to the lead mines above Gunnerside Gill. There the workers of the outgang mine toiled, looking for the mineral ore of galena, which was then smelted into lead. She knew Jack and Sam Alderson would be working there, Jack in the smelting mill, and Sam as a dead man, removing the deads, or useless rock, from the working mine and refilling an older, disused mine. Both brothers had danced with Meg at a local event in Hawes Market Hall a time or 2 since the Christmas dance when they had first met, much to her parents' disgust, as they were not the sort of men a wealthy farmer's daughter should associate with. But Meg's head was turned by their good looks and the attention that both of them had shown her, albeit briefly. She had watched both brothers for a while and had noticed them flirting with other girls, and then, one evening, they had spotted her and had come to talk at first, and then dance with her. She smiled now as she remembered both lads with their arms around her waist, guiding her around the dance floor as she had never been held and danced with before. All 3 had enjoyed their evenings together. The trouble was that she couldn't make her mind up which one she preferred. She mused over each brother as she stepped onto the rutted road that took her back to her family home at Apposett. Jack was charming, but serious. However, Sam was the better dancer and was always joking. The brothers looked alike, with dark brown hair and bright blue eyes, but they were complete opposites when it came to their characters. Both had taken her eye, and both had argued with each other for her affections. She really shouldn't be thinking about either, Meg told herself as she made her way along the road home. But then she broke into song, feeling a spring in her step as she remembered their smiling faces. She'd do as she liked, and not even her father would stop her. "Well, you've taken your time, young lady. I hope you haven't been trailing up those lead mines and fluttering your eyelashes at the men. None of 'em up there are worth out. They've none of 'em got a penny to their names." Agnes Oversby looked up from her baking and shook her head as her daughter came sauntering into the kitchen at their home, Beckside Farm.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?